Hey guys, it's Micah from Sapulpa Times. Hope that your Monday is going well. We're getting started a little bit late tonight or this morning. I apologize about that, but it's a Monday, guys. Not sure what to tell you. Anyway, so here in the offices at the Sapulpa Times Studios in downtown Sapulpa, we've got a lot to get through. Some major developments concerning work zone stuff at the school. We've got some weather stuff that we want to take a look at. Got a new story that just broke over the weekend I want to share with you guys. But first and foremost, let's do a little bit of a weekend recap. So on Friday, you guys probably met Tank, who is this great 150-pound, like 6 foot tall on his hind legs, Great Dane. They came down to Free Coffee Friday. And we got to meet Sandra and Tank and talk with them about what it was like. Tank was actually a shelter dog here at the Sapulpa Animal Shelter, and then went on to become a first response canine and is now a first response canine therapy dog. You can bring him into like high stress situations and things like that. He's really great at calming people down. He was a lot of fun to be around. He was just a big, lovable, great dog, and got tons and tons of attention. And so we're really thrilled that we got to have him on the show. So hopefully you guys saw that episode. If you didn't see it, be sure to go back and watch it. That was on Friday. And I've got a story that'll be coming out later today that'll kind of recap a lot of that and give you more information about how to get a hold of Sandra if you want to use them for those services. If you've got a situation that's going to be a high stress environment or something, uh, and you want to bring in Sandra and Tank in order to kind of calm the situation down, diffuse tension, things like that. Really great with children, things of that nature. So they offer their services for free, and they're volunteers, and they go where needed. And so, yeah, that was really great getting to talk to them. I hope we get to have them again in the near future. Guys, we got some big stuff happening. So last weekend was graduation. So that officially wraps up pretty much all of the school activities for the year. There is some summertime stuff that we'll get to later on as it comes down to it. But we're reaching a point now where students and staff are not going to be allowed back into the high school campus because they are going to start some pretty serious demolition. And actually, that is scheduled to really officially kick off next weekend, Memorial Day weekend. The Annex building will be coming down, as well as sections of the 400 Hall and some other things that are going to be happening. So hopefully you got to go through the Woodline Annex building and kind of give it one last look during the walk through the Annex Day that they had a couple of weeks ago. If you missed out on the chance there, I'm sorry to say that'll probably not happen for you now. So we'll be there, though. We'll be getting the footage and stuff when the building is coming down over at the Annex building. So that should be happening next weekend, and we'll be there for that. And then after that, I mean, it's I think that'll really kick things off in the high gear for the high school. So it's funny because a lot of people were wondering, why does Sapulpa get out earlier than a lot of the other schools in the area? You know, I have somebody that works in the building here with me, and their kids go to Bixby schools, and they don't get out for like another week or something, and or they didn't at the time. And so um, we wondered how that was. And it turned out that part of the reason that Sapulpa had so many distance learning days as opposed to actual snow days, when we had the snow and the cold and stuff hit us earlier this year, was because they needed to get the students out of school. They could not wait and extend that school year. They had to get them out because of this construction that was coming up. So kind of neat. If you were wondering why Sapulpa got out earlier, that's why. So we literally could not keep the kids in the building because we had to tear the buildings down, basically. So anyway, everything seems to be moving along pretty much on schedule there, I think. So we'll keep you in the loop on that as things progress. But along with that, there is actually a pretty big work zone alert change. So I'm going to bring this up and show this to you guys now. So this actually went into effect today. And so if you can see all of this red right over here, that is basically, there is pretty much no way to get into the high school complex now except using the back entrance on East Dewey. So And in order to get there, what you'll have to do is you'll have to go on Lincoln and then turn left on Watchhorn and then turn west again on Dewey and then enter the complex there. And really, you should only be doing this if you need to get there because you have official business or something there. So my wife works for the school. She's still at work for a couple of days, so she uses this entrance in order to get there. But basically, there is literally no other entrance on Dewey Street. All of it should be all fenced off now. That gravel parking lot that was available over by the band hall and by Woodlawn is closed now and off limits. The pickup loop over by the annex building, all of that is fenced off. So there's no way that you're going to be able to get over there now. So yeah, so basically, this is kind of the way it looks right now. This is the way it's going to look for a while. I want to call your attention to the red dotted outline at the top that you see there. So that is East Dewey from Mission Street up to Adams Street. And that is closed now and is going to remain closed for a year or more. Okay. And so do not expect to be able to turn left. I do that a lot. I come down Hobson, turn left on Mission to go down Dewey. That's gone. That's not an option anymore as of this morning. So you'll have to go all the way down, turn on Lincoln, and then come around the back entrance there in order to get to the school if you need to do that. That's pretty much the only option now. So, but Dewey will be closed right there for over a year. So just, don't go there. They're just not going to be able to. That'll be closed for a year while they're doing this construction here. And then meanwhile, Adams Street, which has now been turned back into a two-way street. It was previously a one-way street because of Holmes Park and stuff, but for this construction, they're making it a two-way street again. And so that is going to be available now as a two-way option if you need to be over there. I think Holmes Park might still be doing like their Spark summer school and things like that. So you'll have to check with them for that for sure. But anyway, so that might change the way the traffic looks over in that area. You guys be sure to stay aware, kind of pay attention to the signs and stuff, take those detours. You guys ought to be used to it by now. Half of Sapulpa is under construction, it feels like. So anyway, that's the way that the school zone looks right now. And it's going to be that way. At least it will be like this through the bulk of the summer. And so I know that we've got like band camp and stuff that'll be starting up later this summer. There may be some adjustments made for that. But basically, this is kind of the school that we're dealing with right now. So you guys get ready. Things are going to start changing a lot there. They've already changed quite a bit. There's been tons and tons of dirt and soil and stuff brought in to help start to raise the foundation for the new high school. It's all going to be there. But you guys be sure to keep an eye out because it's going to continue to change, okay? Thought I got okay, so I got a notification not related to the show, so I'm just going to hold off on that for now. Okay, another big story that we had that broke over the weekend. I want to show this to you guys. So some of you guys remember when Warehouse Market changed hands back in 2020. The whole chain was bought by a group called Doc's Foods. And Doc's Foods has now been scooped up by another larger chain called Hope's Foods. And some of you guys, especially those of you who are from some small towns, or maybe if you're familiar with the grocery stores over in the Arkansas area, you'll be familiar with Hope's. And so we don't know for sure what this means in terms of like the naming and stuff. Do you guys remember the time back in 2020, about 5 years ago, when Warehouse Market was purchased, and then they did some remodeling and some renovations on the inside. I think they did some updates to the lighting, the refrigeration, and stuff like that. Started offering sushi. A lot of you guys remember that. And then they changed the Price Mart and the home of the Price Buster, and that's what it's been for the last 5 years. Well, now all of Doc's Food, which includes 10 different stores here in Oklahoma, have been purchased by Hope's Foods. Now, the thing that's neat about Hope's is a uniquely 100% employee-owned company. And so that's way different than what we're used to dealing with here. I will say, when we put the story out on Saturday about this, most of the feedback that we were seeing in our Facebook comments and stuff was positive. People seem to really like Hope's. They see it as a good mix between Reese's and Warehouse Market in terms, I think, of pricing versus kind of the atmosphere and the quality of the product. So most of the products, most of the comments and feedback that we got was really positive there. So it does look like this sale hasn't fully finalized yet. I think it's we should really start seeing the changes and stuff happening in the fall. And so according to the story that we put out, and you can go read this on sapulpatimes.com if you want to, it's available there now. But the CEO of Harps called the opportunity to acquire Doc's Foods rare. And she said, we're extremely excited about adding these stores to our Harps family. They will make a great addition to the Harps company as we strive to continue to grow. And then Courtney Brown, who's the CEO of Doc's Foods, said the store banners, employment, and operations across Eastern Oklahoma will continue with minimal change or interruption. So what does that mean? The fact is, we actually don't know. What we think will happen, this is pure speculation on my part, okay? I think that Harps will be rebranded, Price Mart will be rebranded as Harps. I don't know that that's going to happen. This comment from the CEO kind of makes that unclear. It says the store banners, which would mean like the names and the signage and stuff, and employment operations across Eastern Oklahoma will continue with minimal change or interruption. Not really sure what that means, but I think that what that means is they'll be changing the name to Harps. They'll be assimilated into the Harps family of stores. It will probably become another of the employee-owned stores, just like all the others are. And then hopefully we'll see some good changes over there. So not really sure yet exactly what that entails. That is speculation on the part of Micah and Sapulpa Times. We've reached out. We're trying to reach out to Harps Foods to get some clarification on what that statement means. Is Price Mart going away? Are we getting Harps now? What does that mean? So we're going to find out, and we'll let you guys know when we do. So anyway, that was kind of the big news over the weekend. And then lastly, let's talk about weather. It's Monday. And some of you guys might know every year, right around Memorial Day weekend, we start looking at what's going on with the weather here. And I have to give full credit to Mike Collier. I am totally stealing his image here. But, I left the logo and stuff up on there, so I hope he's okay with that. But anyway, so Mike Collier is handling the weather over on his personal Facebook page. You guys should definitely go follow him. He's kind of the guy that I turn to a lot for what's happening now. So here's basically what we're looking at. We're looking at a series of storms that's going to start popping up probably later this afternoon, and should really probably start firing off about 4 p.m. is what we're looking at right now in this area. Now, we're not really sure what's going to happen here. We don't know if it's going to be hail and straight line winds or if we're going to go full-on tornadoes. So we were supposed to get some severe weather over the weekend. It happened a little more to the northeast of us. Didn't really happen so much in Sapulpa. We got some rain, we got some thunder, nothing real severe. And then we got more rain yesterday. And we've actually got baseball games scheduled for this evening and this afternoon. We'll see what happens there. Not real sure. But this is kind of what it's looking like right now. So this is the EF2 to EF3 possible tornado over in what they're calling the hash area, which is in this diagram right here. This would be the Fort Smith, Fayetteville, Tulsa, Oklahoma City area. It's a really large, wide-ranging kind of area, and I guess it all depends on what happens. So the second set of storms that they're expecting to happen west of Oklahoma City, and then they'll start migrating east into the northeast. That's really kind of what they're expecting if we have any severe weather for it to come in at. So again, this is going to happen later this afternoon. It could definitely affect events that are scheduled for this evening, be that, we got city council meetings tonight. We've also got baseball games and things like that. So those events could be affected by this. And so if something happens, Sapulpa Times will go live, and we'll be sure to keep you in the loop on what's happening. So you guys be sure to stay tuned here. But this, as of right now, is what we're looking at for today. And again, I want to give full credit to Mike Collier over at the MCWX team on his Facebook page and stuff. Be sure to follow them and sign up for their newsletter as well. So anyway, we're kind of keeping an eye on things. This time of year, it almost never fails. Memorial Day weekend, right around that time, which is where we're heading. We always have a bit of severe weather. We've had tornadoes, we've had hail we've always had something happen right around this time of the year. So it is, basically to be expected, and it is happening just like you would expect it. So you guys, stay tuned here. We're going to keep you in the loop for that. Okay. So that is the show for today, guys. I'm going to call it there. You guys stay tuned. We're going to keep you in the loop as much as we can, and appreciate you guys tuning in and being a part of this. Stay tuned because things like that looks like things could be getting hairy later on today. So yeah, keep your phone handy. Stay tuned to the Sapulpa Times, and we'll keep you in the loop as much as we can. Okay, guys. Have a great Monday. Hope you're having a great day. Hope you had a great weekend. We'll see you guys again later on today. Have a great one. We'll see you later. Bye bye.